everybody. This is Lori and welcome to our space. I am so excited for today because I am doing my first interview, and B, with a dear friend who just has brought so much godly wisdom and laughter into my life. So, a little bit about myself for those of you that have not watched this channel before. I want to say I'm 59.99 years old. I'm 60 here in a couple weeks. Empty nesting and working a 30 plus year engineering career and starting to talk about that R word, but just not quite sure what's next. So God has prompted me to do this YouTube channel, but I have no idea what it's about. It started off about my recovery from full knee surgery. Then it turned into some cooking videos for my 20-year-old boys. And today I get to interview Renee. So I'm going to let Renee introduce herself a little bit and talk to you guys about what today's going to be about.
Okay. I'm Renee. I'm also in that 59 age bracket.
January, right?
Yes.
January.
Yep. Mother of four. Also empty nesting since June, and I'm still struggling to adjust to that, but own a business and my own online boutique, and I do a lot of sewing of soft, comfy, minky blankets, and I used to crochet. I'm a big crafter. I like do-it-yourself things. I like things I can do and work from home, and of course, now I found out I had carpal tunnel several years ago and struggled with that, so that led to carpal tunnel surgery.
And so that's what today's video about. So now, I don't know if she mentioned, well, first of all, Unique Boutique.
Oh yeah,
Unique Boutique. Go look it up, you guys. Amazing blankets, amazing blankets. Very casual atmosphere here. We got, I was going to call it coffee, but I've already had 3 cups, so I'm restarting.
Yep, we're going to
water. I'm going to water today.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm very informal. I still don't know what I'm doing, so I'm going to be reading off some cue cards here. So we're real, we're authentic, and I just want to really talk about, I want this space to just turn into something where we're a community, we bring value to each other's lives. Again, I don't know how all this is going to play out, but you know what? We're going to roll with it. Renee has introduced herself. So first of all, Renee, what possessed you to do both hands at one time?
My doctor and my nurse told me that was what they recommended. I booked it on a Friday when they called, and of course Monday I was calling to cancel it, and I just like, no way. This is my busiest time of the year, going into the holidays, making my blankets because it's comfy cozy season, and my hands, just the more I thought about it, they hurt. I can't sleep because they wake me up, and I was just struggling. And when you don't get no sleep, your quality of life is no fun. Your decision making is not good. You get brain fog, and my family's like, Mom will be there for you.
Aww.
And so that was my decision maker, because my husband farms, and we're in the middle of harvest, and I can't ask him to be here to take care of me. I didn't know. They told me I would be able to lift a cup of coffee for 10 to 14 days.
Ouch. Because your blankets alone is bigger or
an
heavier than a cup of coffee.
Size blanket is 4 to 6 pounds depending on the fabrics. A child one is probably a pound. So that wouldn't have been a problem. But
well, and explain to everybody, so when you say your busy time of year, what do you mean by that with your business?
So, blankets, I sell them when it's hot in July and August, but it's not my ideal time. They're more, people like to give them as gifts, and then I've had people email and say, I was a recipient of a blanket, I want to give them to more people because I just love it, and it just keeps how small business is supposed to do it. Just keeps going from there, so it just seems like it's the biggest gifting season of the year.
And your vendor shows, right?
I do vendor shows. I have our biggest one coming up next week, Am I ready? Yes. Do I want to be more ready? Yes. But I'm giving myself grace
Yes.
because I need to take care of my hands that God gave me to do his work, but I need to take care of them so that I can do it as long as I want to, because I just figure I can make blankets the rest of my life. I don't need to retire per se, because a lot of people find their sewing happening when they retire.
Yeah, that's very, very true.
Yeah.
That's kind of a hobby that people kind of pick up after their career.
Go to a craft show, I mean, especially if there's a man there, he's always like, oh, my mom sewed, my grandma sewed.
Yeah.
They never see anybody this young that sews and does it properly.
Nice. And you've been doing this for how many years?
15.
Wow.
But, you know, I learned how to sew in high school, so that's a very long time ago, and we are not talking about that today.
But it just started off as a passion, right?
It just started off as a passion. My husband's mom sewed, my grandma sewed, and Jim bought me a machine for Christmas one time, and it was of course, a used one. That's all we could afford. It was in somebody's trunk. And they got rear-ended, so it skipped a stitch here and there, but it was a good way for me to learn, and it was just like his mom, so that was a good thing.
Great.
Because she was there to help.
Okay, so we maybe have addressed some of this, but what was your biggest fear before the surgery? If you could just name one thing.
Recovery.
Yeah. Because you didn't know, right? So explain to them what you told me about how you tried to research this, and this is the reason we're doing this video.
I did. While I was sewing, I was watching YouTube. I always watch YouTube a lot, just to learn something new or whatever. And there was nothing current, and I just feel like in the hand world, that the technology is always just changing. And even my doctor, he was explaining to me what he was doing in this new technology, and then how they asked the doctors to help even improve that, because the one tool they used to cut the tendon, before it was only supposed to be one per hand per person. Now it's a reusable tool, so it's not so expensive.
Oh, I did not realize
and
that.
And I can't explain it any better than that, but because my hands were numb, I was awake. I looked at my hands, I looked in the holes. But you know what? Yesterday was 3 weeks, and I don't know if you can see them.
We'll zoom in on that. That is amazing.
A little bit of a scar, or a little bit of dryness. This one is, he just made that so awesome. It just blends right in my veins.
So speak to that a little bit.
Okay.
What had you tried up to this point to basically hold off? I mean, you probably knew eventually you were going to have to get surgery because just of your career and what you do, but what did you try up to that point?
Lots of pain pills, lots of ibuprofen. They recommended meloxicam, which is an anti-inflammatory. I have arthritis. It's hereditary. I mean, it's in my hips. It is what it is. But you can only do those things so long. I did cortisone shots. I had braces I slept with. When I met my hand doctor, he told me to wear these braces for my thumbs because I have arthritis in my thumbs, and were starting to pull away, and this was to keep it closer. Well, when you're cutting fabric and pinning fabric, they were not ideal. To me, they were a hindrance. I gave them my best shot and said.
So you were trying to postpone this surgery, correct?
I was trying to at least not do it this time of the year.
Okay.
But
all right. It just came to that point.
It just was what it is. And yep, I just said, okay, this is God's timing, not my timing. I'm not in control.
Yep.
And I need to trust him. And I gave it all to him and said, help me through this. I trust you that I'm making the best decision.
And I have to speak to that a little bit too, because I would ask her questions beforehand, because I don't know anything about it, but I was thinking, how is she going to even use the restroom, you know?
That was a concern.
And her response was, you know what, it's in God's hand, you know, and that's just how she responded to it. She's like, it is what it is, and it's time to do it. So I think you kind of alluded to this, but how did your friends and family react to this when you decided that you were going to do it, get it done in the middle of harvest season, in the middle of probably your busiest season, and both hands at once?
They were all on board.
Nice.
Friends like Lori, she's like, okay, I'm gonna at first I said, do you know this business? I heard of a business that would make your meals. I could put them in the freezer. I was already doing those types of things. And she's like, Renee, just give me a chance. She found this website. She lined up what's called a meal train and lined up friends that were so awesome, brought us supper every night for 10 days or whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
And the night she chose that was her night, she's like, what do you think about just going out for pizza? I said, would love to get out of my house.
She's like, oh, I didn't even have to give her 5 seconds. She's like, yes.
Because I hadn't driven. I still have only driven to the grocery store and
driver's license.
I went to the Sioux Falls to get my driver's license. I forgot I did. So that's the furthest that I've went.
Does it feel weird?
It feels weird just because they're very tender. And this one before kind of had more of a blistered open, and it's finally like closed, but it's still very tender. And I just gripping the wheel, like I still struggle with gripping, turning things, twisting things. I tried to use the can opener today.
And this is 3 weeks?
Yesterday
is that right?
was 3 weeks.
Yesterday was 3 weeks.
Yeah, so 22 days, right, today?
Yeah.
Mathing. So, yeah, you just have to be patient. My husband, before he would leave in the morning, would like unlock the front door, because I couldn't do that. The person coming to bring the supper meal had to turn the knob. Couldn't do it. I didn't have enough. It just hurt to do that twisting motion. And these are just things I wish, the videos that I watched never talked about that. And it's simple things. We don't think about the ways we use our hands. And yeah, not just one, but 2 hands.
Yes, that's.
But I'm so glad I did it 2 hands. I don't have any regrets because I never expected in 3 weeks my hands would be as healthy as they are. I probably can only lift 12 to 15 pounds with both hands. I don't let myself do it anymore. I don't want to do any damage. I don't want to wreck anything. But I also don't want to go backwards and lose my strength, because I was doing things to strengthen them beforehand just to try to build them up and make them strong.
Sure.
Going forward.
On that note, speak to this. I'm surprised you didn't have to do. You met with your doctor, follow up. What was 2 weeks later? Is that right? And there was no physical therapy or anything. And he just basically said, "Listen to your body," right?
He said, "Listen to my body. If it hurts, stop it." And I did find that out this week. I had sewn 5 blankets, but they were already cut and pinned from previous days. And I just couldn't, that wasn't too much. That was just, they woke up the next morning, they hurt, they were swollen. I was back in the pain meds, and I'm just like,
nope, not time yet. Yeah.
I just can't. And my husband, of course, was the first one to say, "So I guess you don't do that today, do you?"
No.
However, he gave me a different chore of bookkeeping. But yeah, even typing on the computer and putting things on my webpage, in the beginning, it was, I could maybe do 20 to 30 minutes, and I would need to take like almost a 45-minute break. Because it was just, they were just
like throbbing,
tired. They were just, no, they just were tired. They never hurt. They were just tired, and I was tired.
So this is where you truly could say your body told you when enough
Yes.
was enough.
Yeah.
But you got to listen to your body,
But
right? Which us as
did.
women, we don't do that very well.
No. And even, when they made the meals or brought the meals, I mean, my husband had finished combining, just getting hot things out of the microwave.
Yes.
You know, because sometimes when they're hot and you're not predicting how hot they are, you let go, or I wasn't able to grip it tight enough. I didn't want to spill it on me or anything else and burn anything.
Right.
And so, it's just simple
That
things.
we take for granted, that you don't even think about.
Tying your shoes. Like I wore the shoes you slip.
Yes.
My feet just slipped into my unclouds, I think they're called. Just because I couldn't do all those motions, even though I could move all my fingers.
Can you tie a shoe now?
I can.
3 weeks later.
I got my shoes tied today. Yeah.
Nice.
I know, right? Small things. And I know we talked about another thing. This week, I can wear jeans. I can finally wear things with a button and a snap. Couldn't do those things.
So that's something you guys need to, keep in mind, is if you choose to do this surgery, which she is a remarkable data point for why you would want to do this surgery, is your plan your clothes out, right?
Definitely. And even the tightness of leggings, the spandex or whatever is in them,
to pull them,
it was too much.
Yeah.
Or to get them down to go to the bathroom. I know that's maybe too much.
No, people want to know
But you
this
need
stuff.
to know that.
Yes.
Jogging pants. Joggers were my saving grace. And you know what? You can dress them up with the plaid shirt and make yourself feel good. Part of my therapy was doing my makeup. Well, I've sold Mary Kay for 31 years, so that was fine. My hair. Okay, have you ever tried to use hair products? First you gotta squeeze a tube.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're supposed to push this to spray. I just didn't have enough strength. Like, I couldn't even spray the Pam in the egg pan in the morning.
So those are the things that you don't think about.
Simple little tasks. But you know what? When you got to do them, you said, "Thank you, dear Lord, for giving me another thing I can do today." And I just was grateful.
So do you recommend somebody who is planning this, that they have somebody with them the first 24, 48, 3 days?
Yeah.
At what point do you think you could have been on your own?
I did my surgery on a Friday, and of course my husband was there and had to drive me home because my hands were totally numb. They were numb until, I would say 9, 10 o'clock at night. I took one of the pain pills that they told me to stay ahead of it.
Yeah.
And I went to bed because I didn't want to be awake when they were the feeling coming back. I just wanted to go to bed and wake up and they were going to be good. I woke up at 4 in the morning, got up and made a piece of toast, then took another pain pill.
Was there pain at that point?
No.
So now we're 4 a.m. the next day and there's still no pain?
No. I don't have any. It's a tightness is what I have now. This is just tight from everything getting and healing from the inside out, is what my doctor said. I feel like I didn't need that pain pill. I never took another one. After that, my daughter came and stayed with me that day when my husband went to the farm. And then I couldn't even open the refrigerator door.
Okay.
That was just a little
So
too much
for sure,
friction.
2 days afterwards?
And my husband then was home on Sunday.
So
I even went to church Saturday night.
Okay, so Friday there was the surgery. You had support Saturday, support Sunday.
And Sunday night I called my daughter. She had gotten permission to work from my house from home. And I just said, "I just don't really know what you could do for me."
That is amazing.
I know. I felt like I was just wasting her time moving in all her computers and equipment to work here when Jim would, like I said, unlock the door, take the lid off of my yogurt before he left. I mean, they're just pulling them little things, or the cottage cheese, or whatever baggies, helping to make a sandwich in the morning. Who knew them damn baggies? Sorry.
You're fine.
We're so hard to get open when you don't have the strength in your hands.
So it's just those little things.
It's the little things, like I said, but they were triumphs when you get to do them. And there's still things I can't obviously do. I was browning hamburger before Lori came,
Yes.
and I'm used to that Pampered Chef thing to break up the hamburger. Well, that wants to sit right here. That's like where my scissors and my cutters
Right.
all want to sit. So many things want to sit right there. Curling iron. It's hard
Yeah.
to want, you just can't do it. A steak knife, when we went out for supper and I ordered a steak, I mean,
So that action, or can you like shake your protein drink?
I don't shake them. I put them in my
Okay.
NutriBullet, but in the beginning, Jim had to untwist the bottom base off of that, and I still can't get it every day.
Okay.
So I always have that before he leaves.
What does the doctor say is full recovery? Has he ever said? You guys ever talked about that?
He
Not really.
never really said what full recovery would be, but I don't, like I said, I do not have pain. I sleep all night long.
So you never really had pain?
Not
Because
since
that was
I've
one of
had
my
this
questions
done.
is
No.
on a pain level from a paper cut to childbirth. I mean, it was nowhere near childbirth. It was maybe a paper cut.
It wasn't maybe a paper cut.
Okay.
But, it just, the things you can't do. Like, I had my shoulder surgery. And I'll relate it to that. Because you don't realize how much you use your shoulder.
So it's more limitations. It wasn't pain.
Kind of
And
like
you're gonna know.
You're
gonna know.
You know because it hurts in your wrists when you're like, can't twist off the jam lid.
Sounds like what you're saying more is the twisting motion of it.
Twisting, and I don't know, that just seems to be more what
Yeah.
I do, what I've noticed in my daily life.
Yeah, so I had a small fall at work just like a week before I think she went in for her surgery.
Yep.
And I to stop myself in the concrete, I hit my hand really hard. And she's right, because that's where I hit so hard, like tying my tennis shoes was like, oh, or squeezing the tube of toothpaste. That was like,
Yep.
oh, what's going on here? So it's just those little things. But really, besides having somebody here the first couple of days, then you probably could be okay.
I was good.
Yeah. But stir crazy.
Yes, I did, I mean, it was nice out some of those days, and at least if I could go have my snack out on the deck.
Yes.
Just to get some sunshine. But I really, in the beginning, I felt like I did take a lot of naps, but that I needed to heal.
Yes. You
And
gotta
I
listen to your
just,
body and respect it.
But yeah, by the time my husband got home, I was ready to do something, and he comes home exhausted, of course. So,
That's me all the time.
you just go with it, and harvest is important too, and so was my recovery.
So we're gonna kind of wrap it up here, but what advice would you give to somebody who's really scared about this and on the fence about it?
So I posted this on my Facebook page.
And what is that? Just Renee Fick, or what Facebook
Yes.
page?
Yep, my personal page. And I
FICK.
all the people that messaged me and just said, how do I know I need this? How do I know when it's when? And I'm just like, are you sleeping? Is it if your pain is waking you up at night, because that's what carpal tunnel does. They're like, I said, then you know, and injections are not doing it anymore and not lasting as long. When I first got the injections, they might have lasted 5 months.
Speak to that. How many years prior to it did you get injections, and how frequently were they farther apart at first, and
Yes.
then they came more and more?
Yes.
So how many years did you get them?
3 to 4,
Okay.
probably.
And at first they would last like 6 months, and then they
Yeah.
became 4 months, that type of thing.
Yep. And I was probably just gonna go in and get another one when he just decided it's time to have the surgery. And
Yeah. Okay.
let's do this. Let's
Okay.
get it done. And I'm beyond grateful and thankful that I did it. I'm blessed to have people behind me to do that, because I didn't realize how important it was, but It did not matter if they took my trash to the garage. It was a big thing to me because I'm not good at asking for help.
But she's so grateful. I mean, she made us just feel wonderful about everything. This way, we didn't even do anything that much. I mean, we brought her some food and we talked and we laughed and we just made sure that she had everything she needed. But she has a wonderful family too. So, hands down.
No puns. They're down.
Have you? And maybe it's too early. Is there something that you can? There probably isn't. Something you can do now that you couldn't, that was a huge limitation before you went in for the surgery, but maybe you're not quite there yet?
I would say I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Just because, he did say, it would probably it could take up to 6 months before I can, lift
What you did before.
What I did before. So, my blankets, I put them in a great big tote to take them to my events. Well, what would do if we stuffed 10, 12 of them in there, and if they all weigh let's say an average of 5 pounds, that's a lot of weight. That's 50 to 60.
And you're all going to get a little glimpse of one of her blankets here at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we could take a break and come back to that. But she's mentioned her Facebook page. She's mentioned her business, Unique Boutique. I will have links to all that down below. So you have your website and your Facebook page. Is that it?
Our Facebook page is Unique Boutique by Heather and Renee.
And I will link that down here in the show notes.
And also, I don't know if we want to go there.
What's that?
The Dakota News.
Oh, yes, please.
Dakota News from Sioux Falls was actually in the surgery with me.
Yes.
Lori said she had to leave the room.
I was not prepared for what they were showing.
And of course, I wasn't prepared. I didn't know what they were going to show, but we can link that. It's Dakota News Now, but you can also go on their Facebook page or their website and search hands, and I know you'll find it. My surgery was October 24th. I know that they did one short video there. They did the big video October 28th, which I think was a Monday or a Tuesday, which definitely shows. I mean,
everything.
My hands, of course, were like this after they were scrubbed, and they got the holes in, and he's like, so do you want to see it?
No, thank you. Not her.
So he brought it to my face, and I got to see the tendon in there. And I knew the left hand was worse than the right hand. So if I would have had to pick one, I would have always picked the left hand. And it was the thicker tendon squeezing, because it's called a release. It's called carpal tunnel release surgery. So he cut that tendon to release the pressure of that.
And that's it.
Well, then there was something about this knife thing that went this way, and I don't know exactly what that did. But obviously he had a reason for that, and that was this new technology that was new to him. And I had Dr. Lee, Dr. L.I. out of Sanford.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Sorry, we probably failed to mention that. We are from South Dakota. And yes, we have running water and electricity.
Yes, we do.
And we don't live in teepees.
And he just was awesome about the whole thing. I mean, when I talked to when I got a second opinion from my mom's doctor, when I took her, and I said, do you think I should do this? And she's like, who's your doctor? I said, Dr. Lee. If Dr. Lee says you need hand surgery, you need hand surgery. He's the best there is. I'm like, okay, that's all I really needed to seal the deal, to confirm that my family told me I needed to do it. And the right one, when I looked in the right one, it was a lot smaller of a tendon that was causing the pain. So it was just a unique thing. I'm not a guru on any of that. I get grossed out easily.
So do I.
But I just thought, when am I ever going to have a chance to look at this again? Never, because they have now cut them and I don't have to do it again.
So that's probably one of my last questions here is, does this last forever?
Yep. To my knowledge, it lasts forever.
Wow.
I don't know what I would do, because that tendon's cut.
Okay. That
and
is neat.
I don't know that it would ever could find its way back
Because
together.
it seems like, you know, a lot of surgeries will say this could last 10, 15 years, you know,
Right.
that type of thing, but they never said any of that this time.
No, I did not
Okay.
say anything like that. So yes, if you're on the fence, that's what this video's for. I'm telling you.
Do it.
Do not mess around. Like I said, the people messaged me and just didn't really know if it was time for them. Well, if you do anything repetitive, this is what causes it. And the best advice I got many years ago when I used to crochet was to sleep with my hands like this. So your fingers were spread out and flat when you sleep.
Did you?
I did.
You taught yourself to do that?
I taught myself.
And did that help?
Well, I felt like it gave me
A couple more years.
a few more years in before that it really got into the carpal tunnel
Nice.
of it. But it's a hairdresser told me that.
That makes sense.
But you know, what do they do? Repetitive. Dog groomers, same thing. They're doing all the same things over and over. And many people do.
Well, I think you guys have caught on to the gist of our video is her double carpal surgery. What am I going to say?
It's called bilateral carpal tunnel release surgery.
Okay, that's a mouthful, right? Anyway,
bilateral means two, which I had to have explained. But a bicycle has two wheels. We have two hands.
Okay, so she's definitely worth it.
Yes.
As always, you know, we're going to wrap it up here, but if you guys have questions or comments, I'm sure, like I said, I'll attach all her links, and she would probably be willing to answer any questions that you may have, so you'll be able to get in contact with her. Thanks so much for joining. If you guys feel that there's some value in this, I would love you to subscribe and comment below. And we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back in and I want her to show one of her blankets. So thank you. Have a great day, and go shine. Keep shining. The world needs it. So as I promised, here is a little bit of Renee's unique boutique blankets. So take it away, Renee. Show everybody, show the world what you have.
All right, they're a mess, but like I said, in my last craft show, I knew that I could not lift and carry these. But I needed them here when people buy them on the website that I can grab them and ship them. So, what I'm just going to show you, we're just going to grab one. This one, they're Minky. Minky is 100%
Let me zoom in on that.
polyester. This one has paw prints embossed
soft
on the back. So you just wash them on gentle, dry them on low. No fabric softener, no dryer sheets. And if you have a pet, because I happen to pick up the paw print, they do not attract pet hair.
Nice.
So they're very durable. My granddaughters, I made them before they were born. They're going to be 15. They still have their blankets.
Nice.
Their very first Minky blankets. So they're very durable and last, and they are so darn soft.
And you guys, I can speak to this. She had friends that cannot sleep now at night. We actually had a friend that went camping and she forgot it at home.
That's right.
And her husband had to drive like an hour home to get her blanket. So like, I'll just zoom in on a couple more. They're just, I wish this video could capture how soft they are.
When we figure that out, I'm in.
All right. Love you guys.